game in this building. The last one on June 7th between these. A season that has been besieged by for the Fever, Ari McDonald, Kelsey Mitchell. Games, their opponents' win percentage when they hopefully would have Caitlin back for at least a chunk of those games. So they want to make sure they take advantage where they can at this point in the schedule as Cardoso starts off with a bucket.
The first set for Chicago, running something to get Camila Cardoso involved, going towards the basket.
Here's Boston against their former teammate, gets denied by Cardoso. Cunningham will fire off on a three. Sophie Cunningham has been dialed in from three of late. Last 6 games shooting at a 58%, or last 2 games, 8 for 12. Here's Nurse, nice find. Williams unable to finish. Cardoso slapped it alive, but just for a moment, and here comes McDonald.
That was a great pass by Kia Nurse, though, as she recognized 2 defenders went with her.
Howard creeping into the paint, shimmies and travels as Indiana turns to South Carolina in 2022. Cardoso went on to win another in 2024. Banham connects on a three.
You can't tell from the camera angle, but sitting here, it's taking a while for the pregame smoke to dissipate in this arena.
There is a palpable haze.
There's a fog.
You are absolutely correct. It feels like a 5 a.m. drive right now at United Center. Knocked away. Here's Boston off the steal. Trying to get it over to Cunningham. Needs some help, and Rebecca Allen is finally going to get called for the foul. She was straight games of at least 2 made threes as Mitchell splashes in one for Indiana. Cardoso running the floor. Gets denied by Boston, returning the favor.
You love to see it, though. A 6'7" player beating all the defense down the floor. Opportunity.
It's Cardoso against Boston.
I don't know, but did you just see how they were getting into it even before the ball was inbounded?
Those two had plenty of practice battles through the years. Here's Howard. Howard, nice move inside, and Elizabeth Williams, the authoritative rejection. Here's Williams. Now trying to work Howard. Good dig from Mitchell. Came with a clean steal. And then gets fouled by Banham in transition. And it'll be a side out of bounds for 3 on Barbie Day here at United Center. Nice find. Howard to Cunningham. Cunningham might add a layup. Passed it up. Mitchell can't hit the 3, and Cardoso the rebound.
Incredible ball movement, though. The quickness by Indiana that last possession.
Mitchell jitters into the paint, leaves it for McDonald, who scoops it in. Good defensive activity here early from Indiana. That's been one of the hallmarks of their 2 previous wins this season against Chicago. They forced Chicago into 20 turnovers per game in those first 2 matchups. Here's McDonald. Howard gives it up. Mitchell a 3 is good. Second 3 of the quarter for Kelsey Mitchell.
And again, when Indiana's at its best offensively, it's not just how many players touch the ball, but how quickly they move it from player to player.
Here's Cardoso. Tossing out. Allen dumps it in. Williams good position and pops it home.
Elizabeth Williams has great length, both defensively and offensively. Uses it there on the little baby hook.
Ends an 8-0 Indiana run. McDonald flings it out. Howard, the runner, is short. Nurse off the rebound. Look at a push. Dump it in. Cardoso gets inside. Couldn't finish it. Now she does. Good response from Chicago after the run. Mitchell cross court. Cunningham fires. Can't hit.
I know left is Mitchell's strong hand, but that was a ridiculously tough pass that she just delivered to Cunningham.
Here's Nurse. Backs away and buries the jumper as Boston and Mitchell both retreated at the same time.
There's a great flow and pace in this game early.
Despite the smoke.
Or because of it.
Maybe. Mitchell able to drop it in. There are some who say it's actually a performance enhancer. So And it's going to be a foul up top on any of her players right now being hesitant. She needs them to be aggressive consistently. It's a double dribble.
Yeah.
As Cardoso.
She was really finding her groove, finding her offense in an efficient way. We know she's always going to rebound.
Michaela Timpson in. Cunningham run off. 6 to shoot. Backs it out. Here's Timpson. Has it knocked away. Fortuitously to Boston. Didn't get it off. And it's going to be Chicago basketball in the violation. Good action early. And a 1-point Skyley ascend as Chicago turns it over for a 6th time already.
And that was because of the defense of Kelsey Mitchell, forcing her offensive player away from the double drag screen. It results in another turnover.
Boston finds the cutter. It's Timpson who lays it in.
And let's talk a little bit more about those turnovers. That's been an issue for Chicago all season long. They lead the W in turnovers per game.
And one of the huge reasons why the player who was supposed to be their point guard, Courtney Vandersloot, went out with a season-ending injury just a few games in. McDonald maybe a little too much on it, and it's taken by Allen off the attempted save. Here's Nurse, a deep 3. Short. Rebound scooped up by Timpson. Here's McDonald dishing out. Now Mitchell able to pedal through, just couldn't quite finish it. And then Timpson gets fouled from behind.
How you want to defend that action.
Here's Mitchell again. Kelsey Mitchell on a first quarter burner. She has 11 of Indiana's 15. Here's Marquisha Davis, recently let go by the Liberty, playing in her 2nd game with Chicago. Strong side rebound to Hull, just in off the bench for Indiana. So too is Colson. Here's Timpson, the rookie, methodically backing down and finishing over fellow rookie Maddie Westbell.
Timpson's had great activity since she came into this game. She's really been kind of coming into her own the last couple of weeks in her role off the bench.
Banham, who can fire from distance, as we saw at Minnesota in college. Here's Hull, catch, fire, no. And Cardoso, the rebound. Indiana on a 9-0 run. They have a 17-11 lead, under 2:40 to go in the first. Ooh, big screen from Cardoso, and not a legal one. As Boston and Hull, the 5 for Indiana. Westbell, Davis, Banham, Williams, and Nurse, the 5 for Chicago, as Lexi Hull knocks in the elbow jumper. It is an 11-0 Indiana run. Fever coming off an impressive win the other night against Vegas. Banham catch and shoot 3. That one's off. Rebound, Davis able to save it. Here's Westbell spinning inside. Davis eyes the shot clock, gets it back into the arms of Nurse. Nurse able to separate, but couldn't drop it in. Here comes Boston. Boston already 4 assists in the quarter. Looking for a 5th here. Colson at 3. Rims out. Banham, the fling ahead, and Nurse alone for the leg.
Really good recognition by Kia Nurse just to take off as soon as she saw her teammate corral that board.
That ends the 11-0 run. Here's Mitchell. Flips it in, wide open. Boston on the board with her first bucket of the afternoon.
Kelsey Mitchell just has found her way of knowing exactly when to make the pass, when to look for her own scoring. There's just a certain comfort level now with the basketball in her hands.
And that is another Chicago turnover. On pace to surpass that. Here's Mitchell. Out to Timpson. Michaela Timpson gets denied by Williams. Hull gives it up. Chloe Bibby able to drain the 3. Recently signed, and the rookie out of Maryland immediately makes her presence felt. Played a few games with the Valkyries earlier this season, including one very productive one against Indiana. A 9th Chicago turnover. Mitchell scoops it in an 18-2 Indiana run. And the Fever have a 26-13 lead. Shot clock turned off. Banham hoists, can't hit. Rebound tilts out of bounds with 1 point.